Is he the Martian Mindhunter, Mind Healer, or something else entirely? Welcome to the Comicstorian Complete Story Series, where you get audio dramas of your favorite comic books, helping you decide what to go out and add to your collection. Today we continue Absolute Martian Manhunter with Issue 3 by Deniz Camp. I hope you enjoy. The homeless man shifts under his blanket of newspapers, unaware of the woman watching him. She lights a match and uses it to light her cigarette before tossing it onto the ground. The man begins to scream as the flames engulf him, and though he's been homeless since he was 14, his last thoughts as he burns to death are, "I want to go home." The next day, John Jones looks down at the body. The crime scene is cordoned off, and the rest of the homeless from the area are being kept back. John glances over his shoulder, briefly watching as the Green Martian wanders the scene and investigates the strange colored smoke that rises up around them. But John ignores that as he looks back to his local PD liaison. "How many victims?" he asks, though he already knows the answer. 24 victims and 24 perps, the detective says with a sigh. John nods and lights a cigarette, bending down to examine the burned ground where the man had lain, as the detective explains that all of the perps stated that they suddenly got the desire to commit the act. "Figured it was some kind of cult or something, but they claim they don't even know each other, and there's nothing saying different," Detective Mayweather tells John, explaining that some people are just crazy and do things without a reason. John nods again, but he isn't really listening anymore. The Martian has leaned over his shoulder and is staring at the burn marks. "Residue of bad idea number 1937-231. Combustion compulsion. Arson instinct. The emancipation of the immolated," the Martian states calmly. John reaches down and touches the ground where the victim had lain. There were residual thoughts and emotions. He can see them, feel them, breathe them in. "I don't understand these people. Why don't they just go to the Sunnyside Hotel? At least they'd be safe there," Detective Mayweather suddenly says, staring at the crowd of homeless that have gathered. But John shakes his head. Big Al didn't like shelters. People stole his shoes. He liked his chances better on the street, he says softly, getting a look of confusion from Mayweather. John returns to the station and starts questioning the perps. 24 people who suddenly decided, in perfect unison, that the best thing for them to do was to burn 15 men, 6 women, and 3 children alive. He sits across from the first one, the Martian lurking behind him in the shadows. None of the people have anything in common except the smoke. "I've never seen them before, I swear," the first man says of the other 23 people. John nods. None of them have criminal records, but white smoke circles their heads. "I've never done anything like this before in my life. I just got the sudden urge," the second woman says. John nods, and the Martian steps up behind them. His hand becomes like smoke as he reaches into their minds, sifting through the thoughts and memories. "Must move quickly, extinguish every ember, every spark," the Martian rumbles. Each one that comes through, he sees them all. Each of them has a pre-existing condition, past trauma, tragedy. "Victims, all victims," the Martian whispers. Later, John drives home, the Martian sitting next to him in the car, arm out the window. They watch the world as they drive past. "Funeral march, civilization's closing ceremonies. Beautiful to behold," the Martian whispers. John nods as he pulls into the driveway. He steps out of the car and is suddenly surrounded by the colorful smoke. Monsters swirl out of it, fighting each other. But John isn't worried. He understands that the Martian is trying to get its point across. I get it. You've made it very clear. What I don't get is why. Why does this white Martian want to destroy anything? What did we do to it? John asks as he steps over the colorful smoke, watching his step as he makes his way up the lawn. It comes from somewhere so far away that it doesn't make sense to speak in terms of distance. The white Martian has decided on tragedy, he says softly. John nods and keeps walking gingerly, unaware of his wife watching from the window, worry filling her eyes at the sight of her husband. The white Martian is cosmic, predator, creator, destroyer. 100,000 life worlds lost. White's great purpose: deliver delight. The Martian whispers. He motions to the front door. Talk to Bridget. Spend time with Tyler. Breathe deep your life, John Jones, while you can. The white Martian has decided on tragedy, the Martian says softly. John nods and heads inside, but he doesn't talk to Bridget. They sit on opposite sides of the couch, the Martian between them. Her thoughts fill the room as colorful smoke. She is worried about John, unsure of what to say to him. He stands and opens the window, letting the smoke out. Finally, he turns back to his wife. Bridget, he starts to say, but he can't find the words as he looks into her eyes. Finally, he shakes his head. I'm gonna go check on Tyler, he finally says, and walks upstairs. But as he walks into Tyler's room, his phone suddenly buzzed. You should take that, the Martian rumbles. John answers the phone. It's Detective Mayweather. His eyes widen at the news as he rushes outside. John lives on the outskirts of the city in the suburbs, but from his street, he has a full view of Middleton. The fires burn everywhere. Smoke fills the air and rises up, creating a great white cloud over the city. A cloud that flares out with an evil face. Bad idea number 1937-231. The emancipation of the immolated. The Martian repeats behind him. John heads into the city to help. He arrives at a family bakery first. He passes a woman. Her thoughts drifted out in colored smoke. She lost her husband and children, but he keeps moving. Someone burning down the home of a stranger they never met. A man burning his own home. Children had gathered to burn down their playground, but John keeps moving. The Martian is watching through his eyes. How do you stop this? It's just random people setting random fires, John questions, but he can feel the Martian shaking his head. No such thing as random, only misunderstood, the Martian says softly, ordering John to open his eyes and see the implicate order of everything, to use his Martian vision, to see that the white Martian wants to destroy the concept of home, the places where people feel safe, shelter. Whether by chance or fate, John finds himself passing the Sunnyside Hotel, a homeless shelter in Middleton. He watches as a crowd gathers, the white smoke circling their heads as they light Molotovs and toss them through the windows. John rushes forward as he grabs his phone, calling in the fire and ordering the police and fire department to get there fast. John rushes inside, ignoring the fire, the heat, and the smoke. The Martian is protecting him, altering the air around him so that he doesn't feel it. They find the first person. The fire is chasing them. The colored smoke takes the form of their trauma, taking the form of their father. Another is chased by needles. Another, their past mistakes. Another is their entire family, asking them, why can't you just be normal? But the Green Martian is there. He reaches for the colored smoke and grabs it, lifting it into the air and breaking it in half. John steps forward. The fire refuses to touch him as he reaches out for the victims. One by one, using the Martian's power to displace them and send them to the safety outside. He finds the last woman, clutching her children as the smoke takes the form of their abusive father. The Green Martian destroys the images as John sends them outside. But he looks up. They can both sense something coming. Something else. A woman rounds the corner. Her body is burning in white fire as she steps forward, her hair and clothes writhing in flames. I have a message for the Green One, she says softly as her lungs and vocal cords begin to melt. It knows you're here, hiding in meat. It knows you're looking, she says. John stares at her, watching as her skin begins to melt. It welcomes you to watch. It loves an audience, she says. The words become more strained as the body begins to fall apart. Her eyes burst and begin to melt. Smoke fills the air as she leans forward. Most people don't get it. They think it's about fire. It's not. It's about the smoke. She gasps as she collapses. The white fire suddenly goes out, and John clutches her. The Green Martian staring over his shoulder. You get it, don't you? The woman says as her words begin to turn into white smoke. It's all in the smoke, Jean. The woman whispers as she dies. And that is where we leave issue 3 of the Absolute Martian Manhunter. The White Martian has begun to make its move. And who is this mysterious Jean? I guess you'll just have to subscribe to the channel to find out next time. But if you enjoyed this, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to like the video and share it with your friends. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.